Time for a Talltale short. 6-year-old Timmy watched from afar as the forest by his house was torn down to expand the parking lot at the local strip mall. This wasn't just any forest. It was where he had spent every afternoon. It was where he had pretended to be an explorer, examined curious beetles, and most importantly, it was where Chirp, the tiny bird he and his mother had saved, made his nest. Confused and heartbroken, Timmy made a choice. I'm not going to speak until these adults learn to appreciate what's right in front of them. From that day forward, he was silent. Instead, to communicate, he chose the language of gestures, sign language, to express himself. Sadly, his silence didn't change much. Year after year, more parking lots overtook beautiful forests, and year after year, Timmy stayed silent. During that time, Timmy became a walking encyclopedia of nature. His keen eyes observed the subtlest of details. His mind decoded complex patterns of the natural world, and his nose was constantly shoved into yet another book about nature. As summer arrived, Timmy, teeming with excitement, was headed to Camp Whispering Pines. Nestled amidst the dense woods, the camp was everything he had imagined. Lush green trees, twittering birds, and a famously escaped orangutan from the neighboring zoo, Coco, who had made the camp his permanent home after countless attempts at his recapture proved futile. Timmy had always wanted to meet Coco, and his chance arrived his first night at camp. Having had a little too much hot cocoa, Timmy awoke in the middle of the night, needing to find the outhouse. He opened the door of the cabin and walked toward the tiny, stinky structure. After a few steps, he heard a rustle in the trees. Suddenly, a massive shadow was standing in front of him. This is it, Timmy thought. The Sasquatch the older kids had spun tales of at the fire was here to eat him. But as his eyes adjusted to the darkness, the shape of Coco became clear, and he was signing something. "Pee," Coco signed, grunting with amusement. Timmy just rolled his eyes. Great. An orangutan with a love for potty humor, he thought to himself as he made his way to the outhouse. Despite the rough start, a bond formed between the silent boy and the mischievous monkey. Each night, Timmy would quietly exit the cabin and Coco would be waiting. Coco, having learned some sign language from his time at the zoo, found Timmy's silent companionship refreshing. Together, they reveled in the wilderness, their understanding transcending the barriers of species. One moonlit night, Timmy, as they were walking in the woods, discovered a peculiar plant, its glowing purple flowers like a beacon amidst the dark woods. Could this be a new species? A discovery like this could help the adults finally understand what they're destroying. Timmy dove in, spending his days studying the plant, sketching, noting, and researching. However, not all things go as planned. One sunny afternoon, Timmy returned to his study site to find his precious plant shredded. Coco, caught red-handed with the evidence, could only offer a guilty grin. Remnants of the purple flowers sat on Coco's lips. He had eaten it! Fury clouded Timmy's judgment. His silence, for the first time, felt suffocating. He felt betrayed, and his trust was shattered. His gestures turned stiff, his signs brusque, effectively severing the bond he shared with Coco. For days, Timmy immersed himself in his silent world, his hurt shadowing his love for the natural world. One evening, as Timmy sat alone, engrossed in his notes, a rustling sound caught his attention. He looked up to find Coco gesturing wildly. Timmy huffed and ignored the excited ape until Coco swooped in and stole his notebook. "My notes!" Timmy exclaimed, chasing after Coco. The chase seemed endless. Through winding paths and over babbling brooks, Timmy pursued his mischievous former friend until Coco finally led him to a clearing. Timmy's heart skipped a beat as he beheld the sight. Hundreds of glowing plants, their soft light illuminating the clearing, painting a picture straight out of a dream. Tears welled up in Timmy's eyes as he turned to Coco, who simply signed "sorry" with his massive paw. Overwhelmed by the breathtaking sight and Coco's heartfelt apology, Timmy's anger melted away. His heart brimmed with forgiveness as he looked at Coco, who stood beside him, bathed in the soft glow of the purple flowers. Timmy knelt down and touched a glowing bloom. In its light, he saw hope for a bright future. This was a Talltale short, small but mighty stories, released daily in audio format. Create, read, and share more tales at talltale.co.